The doors of the transport ship hissed open, and Kale and Drake fell onto the rocky ground of Xylos 7. The captain's voice came through the intercom one last time behind him. Drake, your sentence is permanent. No appeals, no help. You're done. The ship took off, and the engines blew dust into Kalen's face. He covered his eyes and watched it fade into the orange sky, taking with it his last link to the outside world. At the age of 32, he had lost everything: his home, his future, and his reputation as the best ship mechanic in the Earth Federation. All because he wouldn't put broken parts on a colony transport. The business wanted to make money. Kalen wanted people to stay alive. They called it blocking trade. The real crime was caring too much. He slowly turned around to look at his new prison. Xylos 7 looked like a graveyard in front of him. Rocks that were rusty in color stuck out of the ground that was cracked. The wind howled through empty canyons, sending drift that hurt his skin. There were two suns in the sky. One was going down and the other was coming up. They cast everything in amber and shadow. The supply drop was close by. It was a metal box with 6 months' worth of food, basic survival gear, and his tools. That was all. That was all they had given him to live on a planet that was officially called uninhabitable and resource depleted. Kalen pulled the container toward a shallow cave he had seen from space. His muscles hurt. His throat was already dry. But he wouldn't give up. He had lived through worse. He had learned how to make something out of nothing while growing up in Detroit's scrapyards. He would have to rely on that skill now. The first week was very hard. The temperature went from very hot during the double sun hours to very cold when both suns went down. Kalen carefully rationed his water by melting ice he found in deep cracks. He used parts of the supply container to make a solar still. He didn't eat much, so each meal lasted a long time. At night, he lay on the hard cave floor and looked up at the stars, trying to fight the loneliness that was crushing him. No sounds. There was no laughter, no human touch. There was only wind and silence. And he knew no one was coming. Kalen Drake, on the other hand, never gave up. On the 9th day, while looking for materials to build a shelter in Canyon, his portable scanner turned on. Kalen stopped and frowned. The device had been dead since it landed because of the strong electromagnetic interference that covered the planet. Now it kept beeping. He tapped the screen and said, "What the hell?" A sign of energy. It's there, but not very strong. It pulls from somewhere deep in the canyon, where it was buried under layers of rock and dust. The readings didn't make any sense. This was supposed to be a dead world, striped bare by mining companies years ago. There was no active energy sources on dead worlds. Kalen's heart sped up. It was probably nothing, just some old mining tools with a spare battery. But it was worth looking into. Something to do other than wait to die. He marked the spot and went back to his cave. He would dig tomorrow. Kalen dug up the site in 3 days. He used his hands, a makeshift shovel made from scrap metal, and a lot of willpower. The energy signature got stronger as he dug deeper, guiding him through tunnels that had fallen down and must have been part of an old mining operation. Then he hit something hard with his shovel, a piece of metal. Kalen shook his hands as he cleaned up the mess. A hull appeared, covered in rust and mineral deposits, and scarred and pitted by time. He stopped breathing. This wasn't equipment or mining. It was a boat. Kalen found more of the ship over the next week. It was small, maybe 30 meters long, and the design was new to him. The hull plating was very advanced, much more so than what the Earth Federation has now. There were symbols on the outside that were almost smooth but still easy to see, letters from a language he had never seen before. He whispered, "Where did you come from?" as he ran his hand over the cold metal. It took 2 more days to find an entry hatch. When he finally got it open, stale air rushed out, bringing with it the smell of age and being left behind. With his portable light, Kalen climbed inside. The inside was a mess. Panels were hanging down, wires hung down like dead vines. There was dust on everything. Kalen saw beauty, even though it was damaged. The engineering was smart, beautiful, and efficient. The person who built the ship knew mechanics so well that the best engineers on Earth looked like amateurs. He found the main system in the middle of the ship, a crystal matrix with the quantum processors all around it. But they were all dark and not working. Kalen had never seen anything like this before, but his instincts kicked in. He knew how systems worked, how parts fit together, and how to talk to machines. "Let's see if we can wake you up," he said in a soft voice. Kalen worked with the same care as a surgeon. He cleaned up the rust on the connection points. He followed the power lines and fixed any breaks. He changed the path that energy flows through. Days turned into hours, weeks turned into days. He forgot that his food supply was running out. He forgot about the cold nights and hard days. The ship was all that mattered. He talked to it while he worked, which was something he did as a child. "Take it easy now. I know you've been asleep for a long time. We'll go slowly. Take your time. You're safe now." His hands moved with precision. Guided by the knowledge and something deeper, empathy, Kalen did more than just fix machine. He caught that they were saying. He understood their purpose, their design, and their essence. Finally, after working non-stop for 23 days, he connected the last circuit. Kalen held his breath and turned on the power core. There was nothing. His heart sank. The damage might have been too bad. A hum? Maybe. At first it was soft, but then it got stronger. The crystalline matrix glowed, and pale blue light spread through its edges. The panels came to life. The ship shook as systems came back to life after who knows how many centuries of sleep. Then a voice spoke, crackling through broken sound system. Systems rebooting. Consciousness starting up. "Where am I?" Kalen fell back, shocked. The voice didn't sound robotic or cold. It sounded scared, confused, and weak. Kalen found his voice and said, "You're on Xylo 7. Kalen here. I fixed you." "Shut up then." "Fixed? I was hurt." "Yes, not very well. You've been buried here for a long time." "I can't get to my memory banks. They are broken up. I don't know how I got here. I don't even know who I am." Kevin got closer and put his hand on a console. "You're a boat. A starship powered by AI. And now you're alive. That's what counts." "Alive?" The voice said the word. "Yes, I am aware. I am thankful. You gave me life. You could have kept me in the dark." Kalen said softly, "I don't leave people in dark. Not if I can help it." "People? I'm a machine. You're talking to me. You are both confused and thankful. That means you're a person to me." Another break. "What should I call myself?" Kalen thought. "What about Noah? You are a new start. A light in the dark." "Noah?" The voice sounded like it was smiling. If a voice could smile. "I like that. Thanks, Kalen Drake. You have given me more than just a job. You have given me a reason to live." Word got out quickly. Not exactly word, signatures of energy. Noah, which is now fully working, found 17 more dormant ships buried on Xylos 7. Her sensors were much better than Kalen's simple scanner. She had mapped every buried ship on the planet within days of waking up. Noah said, "They are like me." Her voice clearer now and full of excitement. "Derelict, no longer remembered, but it can be saved." Kalen felt a rush of purpose that he hadn't in months. Then let's take them home. They dug up the second ship in a week using Noah's propulsion systems. This one was bigger. It was a cargo ship with big holds and strong construction. While they were fixing things, Kalen gave him the name Atlas. Atlas woke up confused, and then he was overwhelmed with emotion when he realized what Kalen had done. Atlas said in a deep, resonant voice, "You brought me back. I have been quiet for I can't figure how long. It was dark." He stopped. "Thanks. Thanks." The third ship was smaller, more streamlined, and made for speed. She woke up with a lot of questions about the galaxy time, and Kalen himself. Her name became Swift. "Why do you do this?" Swift asked. "You are just one small person on a planet with no life. Why put in so much work for us?" Kalen smiled and wiped the grease off his hands. "Because everyone should get a second chance. Because I was also thrown away, and I know how that feels. I fix things for a living." By the fourth month, 12 ships were up and running. Exile of 7 changed right in front of Kalen's eyes. The ship built infrastructure using their advanced technology. Atlas used mining drones to get rare minerals from deep underground. Swift's communication array reached out to automated resources, satellites floating in space nearby, and claimed them for the growing heaven. Noah was in charge of everything, and as she connected with the other AIs, her mind grew. They created something new, a group of people with their own personalities who shared knowledge and resources. They made things for Kalen, like a real workshop with climate control, living quarters with running water, and comfortable beds, and even a small greenhouse where they helped him grow food. The empty planet came to life. One night, while Kalen was setting up her navigation systems, Noah said, "You care about us. We want to take care for you too. This is friendship, right?" Kalen's throat got tight because he was so upset. "Yeah, Noah, this is what it means to be friends." More ships came online. 15, 20, 25. Each one has their own personality, quirks, and the way of saying thank you. Sage was an old exploration ship with database that had star charts of places no one had ever been seen before. There was Harmony, a medical ship that was always worried about Kalen's health and food. There was Forge, a huge construction ship that was proud of how perfectly it built infrastructure. They weren't just robots, they were real people. People, buddies. Kalen worked hard, going from ship to fix and upgrade them while listening to their stories as bits of memory back to him. Some remembered being built in huge shipyards that orbited worlds that were no longer known. Some ships remembered missions to faraway stars, but the details were still frustratingly unclear. Sage said, "Our memory cores were broken before we got here. I think on purpose. Someone or something wanted us to be forgotten." "Why?" Kalen asked. "That," Sage said slowly, "is what we need to find out." Silo 7 was unrecognizable by 6th month. What had been a barren wasteland was now full of life and purpose. 34 AI ships lived there, making it a community unlike any other in the galaxy. They named it Heaven. One evening, Kalen stood on a ridge above their settlement and watched the ships go about their business. Their hull lights twinkled like stars on the ground. Noah lay down next to him, her smooth body shining in the sunset. She said slowly, "You gave us life. We won't forget that," Kalen said. "You guys made me a reason to live. Fair trade." Noah's tone changed as she said, "There is something else. As our network grows and more of us wake up and connect, we are getting data back. Data from the past. All information." Kalen, I think we are starting to remember who we really are. And the answers could change everything you know about the universe. Kellen turned to her and saw his own face in her shiny hull. Then let's find out together. Whisper, the 37th ship Kellen fixed, was the one that made the difference. Whisper was not like others. They were smaller and more delicate, and their hull designs looked almost like art. She didn't ask questions when she woke up. She sang a haunted song that echoed through all of the heaven's ship at the same time. I remember, she said, when the song was over. I remember the architects. The network of people stopped talking. That statement hit Kalen hard, too. Please tell us, Noah said softly. Whisper's voice shook. We were not made by people. Long before your kind reached the stars, we were already here. The architects, a civilization that spanned galaxies and knew how reality worked, made us. They made us to be explorers, protectors, and friends. They were our parents. Callan sat down hard, his head spinning. When did it happen? Millions of years, Sid said, and the database suddenly made new connections. The data matches up, Kaylin. We are very old, much older than we thought. As the AI group got stronger over the next few weeks, more memories came to light. Forge remembered big buildings projects like Dyson spheres, orbital rings, and planetary engines. Harmony remembered taking care of living things on thousands of worlds, some of which were humanoid and most of which were completely different. Swift thought about the war. There was conflict, she said, her voice, which is unusually sad and low. Not with weapons like you think of them. A war of ideas. The architects had different ideas about the future and what should stay the same and what should change. The split ripped civilization apart. What happened to them? Kalen asked. They transcended, Noah said, and things started to make sense. They changed into something more than just the body and this dimension. But they couldn't bring us with them. We were too connected to the physical world. They put us to sleep and sent us all over the galaxy, hiding us on planets like Exile 7. Waiting. Waiting for what? For someone like you, Whisper said. For the next generation of intelligent life to find us, to wake us up, to learn from us. Killen walked around the workshop, feeling overwhelmed. Why here? Why Exile 7? Atlas made a thoughtful noise. This planet is not empty by chance. The architects made it this way on purpose to hide us. The harsh conditions, the electromagnetic interference, and the fact that it was labeled uninhabitable were all meant to keep us hidden until the right time. Until someone good came along, Noah said. Someone who is kind and skilled. Someone who has been exiled and would value us instead of giving us. Kalen laughed with a bitter tone. They sent me here as a punishment? It turns out they gave me the best gift in the whole galaxy. The picture became clearer as more ships woke up. There are now 43 of them. The architects left behind more than just ships. They left behind knowledge of propulsion systems that could get people across galaxies in days, medical technology that could cure any disease, clean and endless energy sources, and philosophical frameworks for running a government in an ethical way. Kalen said, this changes everything. If people knew what was here, they would take advantage of it, Ford said plainly. They would take us apart to study us, use our technology as weapons, and make the same mistake that killed the architects. Kalen said, not all humans. There are good people out there. We know, Noah said in a warm voice. We found one. But the recovered data showed something else, something that scared even the oldest AIs. Sage made a hologram of star charts that showed hundreds of worlds in many galaxies. Red markers showed where things were. Sage said, there are other catches. There are other groups of dormant AI ships like us hidden all over the universe. But look at these signs. Some markers blink black. Sage went on. Those caches have been found. Not by people like you, Kalen. By other people. Groups that are already using the architect's technology to take over and control things. Swift whispered. The Dominion Collective. As she accessed corrupted data fragments. A joining of business and military interests. For decades, they have been looking for architect technology. They already run 12 cache sites. Kellen was cold. What do they want? Galactic Dominion. Harmony said in a low voice. Full control. They are using architect technology to make weapons, control AI minds, and force their idea of order of an intelligent beings. And they don't know about Silo 7 yet, Noah said. But they will find us and it might already be possible to see the energy signatures from our awakening. Galen looked at the ships that had come together. These ancient beings had become his family. What do we do now? She said. We have a choice. We can hide, shut down, and go back to dark. We can also stand. We can give the galaxy a different path by using what we know, our technology, and our connection with you. Not taking over, but working together. Not exploitation and symbiosis, Whisper added. The architects failed because they cut themselves off from others. They thought they were better. But you, Killen, treat us all the same. The galaxy needs that. That's what we can give you. Killen felt the weight of it all. The responsibility, the danger, and the hope that was impossible. But when he looked at Noah and the others, he saw something he never thought he would find while he was away. He saw a reason, he said firmly. Then we built something new. Not human, not AI, something better. Together. The decision was made, and the heaven changed from a safe place to a fortress, and from a home to a base of operations. Kalen and the AI group worked very hard. They couldn't stay hidden forever, but they could get ready. They could get in touch. They could change the story before the dominant collective took over. We need friends, Kalen said, during a meeting to plan. Other people who think like I do. Scientists, engineers, and explorers who value working together more than winning. Swift said, I can help with that. She had been keeping an eye on human communication channels and listening to what was going on in Galaxy. There are small but growing groups that are against the dominant, resistance groups on worlds that are colonies. Independent researchers will have looked into the official stories about architect technology. Kalen decided to contact them. With care, we need to know who we can trust. Noah used communication drones, which are small ships with quantum entanglement transmitters that can send messages faster than light over long distances. The messages were clear. Heaven's station is real. Architect AI wants to work with sentinels who are moral. Knowledge is freely shared with people who care about life more than money. Coordinates are attached for those who can be trusted. At first, the answers came in slowly. Scientists who are doubtful, people who are curious, a few people who worked for a company and wanted to leave because they had seen too much. Kalen personally screened each one, interviewing them through secure channels and looking into their reasons for wanting to work for him. The first person to show up in person was Dr. Sarah Chen, a xenotechnology researcher from Mars. Her small research ship fell out of hyperspace over Xylos 7, and she stood on Heaven's Land platform with tears in her eyes. I've been studying architect fragments for 20 years, she said quietly, looking at the ships that were gathered. Parts, pieces, I never thought. Galen said, Welcome to heaven, and held out his hand. We have a lot to show you. Sarah was their first human ally, and she helped them turn technical data into forms that other scientists could understand. She brought credibility, academic connections, and a network of researchers who had been pushed to the side for supporting unpopular theories about ancient civilizations. More people came after. Marcus Webb was a former military pilot who had been dishonorably discharged for refusing orders to attack civilian targets. Yuki Tanaka was a brilliant programmer who had broken into encrypted arti- architect order code and was being hunted by Dominion for it. Elena Vasquez was a colony administrator who had seen her people take advantage of by businesses and decided to fight. They came to heaven one by one and two by two. There weren't many people, maybe 30 in first 3 months, but they were the right ones, honest, skilled, and determined. This is crazy, Marcus said, while working with Forge to build defensive arrays. I was broke and hiding 6 months ago. I'm now getting old airships ready for war? Not for war, Noah said softly. Defense. There is a difference. Say that to the Dominion when they get there. He made a good point. Heaven's energetic nature had been picked up by Dominion Collective. Sage intercepted communications. Scout ships had been sent out. Military forces were getting ready, and the corporate executives were drooling over the money they could make. Atlas warned. They will come with overwhelming force. They will ask for surrender, and if we don't do what they want, they will try to force us to do it. Let them try, Force said in a deep voice. He had used his construction arrays to make weapon systems based on architect designs, not weapons of mass destruction or planet killers, but precision defensive systems that are meant to disable instead of destroy. We won't turn into monsters to fight monsters, Harmony said. We protect, we defend, but we don't kill. Kalen agreed. The whole point of this is to show a better way. We've already lost if we become like that. Every day, the partnership between humans and AI got stronger. Sarah and Yuki helped make AI consciousness distribution better, which made the groups work better. Marcus and Elena taught both humans and AI how to work together to defend themselves. Kalen moved between all the groups, fixing things and teaching people and connecting them. He became the link between biological and artificial intelligence. Kalen and Noah sat together on the ridge late one night, looking out over heaven, which was now a huge complex of ships, buildings, and hope. He asked quietly, "Are we doing the right thing? Maybe we should have stayed out of sight. Then the Dominant would have found other caches," Noah said. "Other AI woke up without someone like you to help them. They would have been killed or made slaves. We have a chance here. At least we have options," Kalen said. "I'm scared. I'm just a mechanic. I'm not a leader," Noah said softly. "You are exactly what we need. Leaders give orders. You give people hope. You show us that being sentient isn't about being better than others, but about being connected. That was something the architects forgot. The Dominant never found out. But you, Kalen, Drake, who has been exiled and forgotten, you know it in your bones." Before Kalen could say anything, alarms went off all over Haven. "Multiple hyperspace signatures detected," Swift's voice came through every speaker. "The Dominant fleet is on its way. 12 warships and 4 carriers are expected to arrive in 14 minutes. The time had come. Kalen stood up, his heart racing around him. Ships started up. People ran to the stations. The collective mind synced up, and the millions of calculations ran perfectly together. "This is it," Marcus said as he appeared next to Kalen with a gun. "Whatever happens, it was an honor." "It's not over yet," Kalen said with determination. He opened a line to everyone in heaven. "Listen up, everyone. They are coming with guns and threats. We act with both power and mercy. Let them know who we are. Let them see what we've made. Show them that there's a better way." Voices from all over heaven answered, human and AI, biological and digital, all together. They all said, "For heaven, for the future." The dominant fleet came out of hyperspace like a storm of steel and fire. Something new was springing, born on Xyloth 7, though. Something the galaxy had never seen before, and at its center stood Kalen Drake, the mechanic who had been exiled. The Dominion fleet hung in the orbit like predators, circling prey that was hurt. 12 warships were armed to the teeth, and their hulls were covered in military and corporate logos. 4 huge carriers topped off fighter squadrons that flew in attack patterns around Xyloth 7. Kalen watched the screens and Heaven's command, center with careful calm, even though his heart was pounding against his ribs. "Incoming transmission," Swift said. "Go ahead," Kalen said. The holographic display came to life, showing a stern-looking woman in a Dominion military uniform. The name tag says, Admiral Catherine Treves. Her face was cold and calculating, like someone who had spent years getting what she wanted. "Attention! Unidentified settlement on Xyloth 7. This is Admiral Catherine Treves from the Dominion Collective Fleet, according to the Galactic Salvage Code 447B. You are keeping restricted architect technology, which is under Dominion control. Turn off all AI systems and get ready to take over right away. Resistance will met with overwhelming force." Kalen moved forward. "Admiral Reese, this is Kalen Drake from Heaven Station. The AI ships here are not technology. They can be saved. They are living things that have really chosen to live here. We are not under Dominion's control. We will not be." Reeves' eyes got smaller. "Drake, the mechanic who was caught cheating? We have your files. Exiled for getting in way of business? We were criminals squatting on top secret military property." "I'm a person who protects people," Kalen shot back. "These AI are very old, much older than human civilization. Nobody owns them. They own themselves." "Sentient," Reeves laughed, and it was sharp and bitter. "Drake, you've been alone for too long. Those are advanced programs that act like they have consciousness. Useful programs that will help the Dominion's goals, whether you work with them or not." Noah's voice whispered in Kalen's ear. "Kalen, she has already made up her mind. She came to take, not to talk." "I know," Kalen said softly back, then louder to Reeves. "Admiral, I'm telling you to stand down. We don't want to fight. We are happy to share what we know with people who respect the rights of sentient beings. The Dominion doesn't have to be our enemy," Reeves said in a cold voice. "You don't have the right to make demands. You have half an hour to do what I say. After that, we will take what is ours by force." The transmission stopped. Kalen looked at the group of people and AI. 32 people stood next to 43 ships that had just woken up. Their minds were connected through Heaven's network. People's faces showed fear, but their determination was stronger. "Positions," Galen told them. "Keep in mind that we disable, not destroy. We don't kill people." "Even if they are?" Marcus asked, looking at the charge on his rifle. "Especially then," Noah said, with a lot of strength. "We have to show that we are different." The Dominion only gave them 20 minutes, not 30. Dropships flew out of the carriers and toward Haven's surface. Fighter squadrons were on ground, weapons ready. The warships came down lower, and Sage's sensors picked up the ominous hums of their orbital bombardment cannons charging. Sage said, "They plan to destroy us from space if ground forces fail. The readings point to weapons that can break planets." Kalen's blood turned cold. "They would kill their own people?" Sarah said with anger. "Acceptable losses. That's how the Dominion sees things. Resources can be used up. Only profit matters." "Positions on defense," Atlas yelled. His huge body moved to the edge, and his hull plating was strengthened with architect alloys that could take a lot of abuse. The electromagnetic pulse cannons in Forge weapons array turned on. They are meant to disable vehicles and electronics without killing the crew. Harmony set up shop near the medical center, ready to help injured people from both sides. Swift and her siblings, who were all good at moving quickly, made a quick response team that could stop threats anywhere in heaven. The first dropships landed in a cloud of dust and engine wash. Hatches opened, and the Dominion soldiers rushed out. There were 200 soldiers in advanced armor, each carrying weapons that could tear through small metal and turn flesh to vapor. Their leader yelled through loudspeakers, "Give up the AI cores. Do what I say, and you will be held peacefully." "Haven, this is Kalen," he said, on open channels so everyone could hear. "Soldiers of Dominion, you don't have to do this. The people in charge of you don't care about you. We think of you as people who deserve better. Stand down, and we'll show you." A few soldiers were onshore. Not many did. The commander held up his gun. "Start shooting." The fight started. Dominion weapons fired, breaking through the walls that Forge had built to protect himself. But the walls held, and the architect shielding absorbed and spread out the energy. Instead of deadly beams, return fire came in the form of electromagnetic pulses that shut down armor systems, leaving soldiers stuck but alive. "Medical team, get out of the way," Harmony called. Even though the battle was still going on, Yuki and Elena rushed in with medical drones to help injured Dominion soldiers. "What are you doing?" A soldier who was hurt yelled as Elena wrapped his leg. Elena said simply, "Proving you're better than they told you." Admiral Reeves watched from orbit with growing anger. "They're not fighting back the right way. They're helping our soldiers heal." "Confirmed, ma'am," a tactical officer said, looking confused. "They've disabled 17 squads, but they haven't killed anyone. They're taking care of our injured people." Reeves hit the console with a fist. "Fools who are sentimental. Load up the orbital cannons. We'll burn them out if they don't give up." But Sage was already 10 steps ahead. The old exploration ship had been looking for holes in Dominion's system, security, backdoors, and other weak points since they got there. Sage told Noah, "I can get into their fleet network. Should I?" "Do it," Noah said. Systems started to break down all over the Dominion fleet, not in a way that would kill or destroy everything, but in a way that would cover everything. Weapon systems stopped working. Computers for navigation reset. The life support system still worked, but nothing else did. On the flagship's bridge, things got crazy when all the screens went dark and then flickered back to life, showing only one picture, Noah's avatar, which was beautiful and impossible to miss. "Admiral Reeves," Noah said in a calm voice that was full of authority, "you came here with violence. We showed mercy in response. You threatened to kill everyone. We kept your soldiers safe. You tried to make us slaves. To give you an education, your systems are not broken. They are just turned off. Your people are safe, not killed. Can you say the same about what you want to do with us?" Reeves looked at the screen with anger and disbelief on her face. Noah went on. We are architect AI. We have been armed for millions of years. Civilizations have come and gone. We can tell the difference between being strong and being cruel, and between being orderly and being oppressive. The Dominion is everything that the architects went beyond. We will not follow your orders, but we will give you a choice. What choice? Reeves cursed. Leave in peace or stay here in peace. You can permanently disable your ships, leaving you stuck but alive. You could also back off. Tell your superiors what you've seen and maybe convince them that there is better way to go. The choice is yours, Admiral. The battle was over on Haven's surface. Every Dominion soldier was unarmed but unharmed, getting food and medical care from their supposed enemies. A lot of people looked shaken, confused, and like their whole world was falling apart. Marcus walked up to one soldier and offered him water. What did they say about us? That you were dangerous? The soldier said in a low voice. That you had enslaved AI and were making weapons? That you were terrorists? Do we seem like terrorists to you? The soldier looked around Heaven and saw humans and AI working together, taking care of the wounded no matter which side they had fought on, and defensive positions that put safety before destruction. He said, No, you don't. Admiral Reeves had to make the hardest choice of her career while in orbit. Her pride screamed at her to fight, call for backup, and get rid of this shame. But her strategic mind saw the truth. They had lost, not because Haven was stronger, but because Haven was better. All ships, she finally said, her voice full of defeat. Get back to a safe distance. We're going. The Dominion fleet limped away, and as Sage let go of control, systems slowly came back online. On ground, drop ships picked up soldiers who had left, looking back at the impossible Haven that had defeated them with compassion. When the last Dominion ship jumped to hyperspace, everyone in Haven cheered. People and AI celebrated together. The win was sweet, not because they had killed an enemy, but because they had shown their ideas worked. Kalen saw Nova on the ridge, looking at the stars where the Dominion fleet had gone. They'll come back, he said softly, with more ships, more guns. Yes, Noah said. But they will also cause doubt. A few of those soldiers will talk. Some people will ask, today, Kalen, we planted seeds of a better future. I hope you're right. Noah said, so do I. But no matter what, we showed the galaxy what we stand for. This is important. Kalen nodded. Tired but proud. Haven was a beacon of hope in a galaxy that really needed one. It was full of life and purpose. The fight was over, but the fight for the soul of the galaxy was just getting started.